Hi, I'm Chris Johnston from Work Visa Lawyers and welcome to the first Australian immigration news video for 2021.
Work Visa Lawyers has a team of registered migration agents and immigration lawyers that can assist you with advice, visa applications, Australian citizenship and appeals. We are based in South Australia and assist people from all over the world. We can assist with state-nominated visas for all states and territories in Australia. If you want tailored advice, you can book an appointment, which can be done by Zoom, Skype, WeChat, or over the phone. We regularly provide video updates on Australian immigration news and visas. Please subscribe and hit the bell to receive notifications on our latest videos.
The news is a mix of some positive news, especially in relation to some state sponsorship opening for GSM, and also a range of challenges, especially in the area of international travel. Hawke has been announced to be Australia's new Immigration Minister. He's got some previous experience in relation to this, having been an Assistant Immigration Minister in 2016 and 2017. It is significant when there's a change of Immigration Minister because the Immigration Minister has powers in relation to discretions and making decisions, particularly in relation to cancellations and revocations. There is a range of news in relation to general skilled migration. This is in relation to the visas, the 189, the 190 and the 491. The first piece of big news is that the rounds are going to be going quarterly. So usually rounds are monthly for the Skillselect system. The government has announced that we're going to be going to quarterly rounds, and this is going to affect the 189 and the family-sponsored 491. The quarterly rounds is going to be quite a disappointment for some potential applicants because it's going to mean there's less opportunities, and it's also going to make it a little bit more difficult to understand what's going on in terms of the immigration program. In relation to the 189 and the family-sponsored 491, expectations should be modest. Unfortunately, there has been very low levels of invitations in 2020. I expect that pattern to continue in 2021.
There have been some interesting developments in relation to state sponsorships. Each state has an allocation for 190s and 491s for the program year. They usually aim to nominate the full allocation each program year, which ends on the 30th of June each year. A new program year with new allocations usually starts on the 1st of July each year. However, last year in 2020, this did not happen due to the government delaying allocations. In early February 2021, Move to South Australia opened its state nominations for the Skillselect system. The opening included a detailed occupation list and each occupation having a number of pathways and criteria. Very shortly after opening, it removed some occupations such as accountant, chef, cook and marketing specialist. And then shortly afterwards, these occupations were often reintroduced, but with more restrictions or with less options available. Next month, we will be doing a detailed video on the South Australian requirements through Move to South Australia. Unfortunately, due to COVID, most states in Australia are not offering state sponsorship for Skillselect occupations. However, Tasmania is open to applications from Offshore for the 491 visa program as long as the occupation is on the Tasmania Skilled Occupation List, the TSOL. The process is by invitation only for those who have an expression of interest in the Skillselect system to allow Tasmania to choose the best candidates.
Travel bans continue to be in place in relation to temporary visa holders to Australia. There are exemptions available in relation to temporary visa holders travelling to Australia, but these exemptions are quite strict. If you're interested in applying for a travel exemption, you would start by looking at the exemptions on the Department of Immigration website. Exemptions are available for a range of reasons, including for those that are working in critical sectors and for partners of Australian citizens. From the 22nd of January 2021, there is now a requirement for a pre-travel COVID test to be undertaken. This is an important part of the process of coming to Australia. This adds to the range of requirements for those travelling to Australia. The challenges for those travelling to Australia include taking a pre-travel COVID test, securing a flight and not having it cancelled. Once you have got to Australia, you have to undertake a compulsory 14-day quarantine period. I've spoken with a number of people that have been involved in this process. Some have had their flights cancelled, some have made it back to Australia. It was interesting to hear that on the flights back to Australia, there was only between 25 to 50 people on each plane. There are limited flights, there are caps on the number of arrivals, and it is still very challenging to travel back to Australia. Our hearts go out to all those Australians, permanent residents and temporary visa holders that are overseas and are finding it difficult to travel back to Australia. It is very difficult and we hear about it on a daily basis. We're hoping that the Australian government can increase the number of flights back to Australia to accommodate these people to travel to Australia. So there's some news in relation to the Global Talent Visa. Overall, the Global Talent Visa is still progressing and there are a number of invitations going out. However, it does seem like things are getting a little backlogged and it's taking longer to get an invitation. It was announced recently that the criteria would be narrowing in relation to who would get an invitation. In particular, master's graduates and bachelor's graduates with honours are no longer considered to be eligible to apply based on their education alone. They still may be able to apply if they can meet the salary requirement. However, this can be quite a challenge for graduates. There is some news in relation to business and investor visas. Just before Christmas, it was announced there will be some changes that will be implemented from the 1st of July 2021. We have a detailed video on the changes, but as a summary, it's going to be more difficult to apply for business and investor visas. Overall, the criteria in terms of turnover for businesses and also assets for the business holders will be increasing from the 1st of July 2021. The big news is that from the 1st of July 2021, the 132 visa, which is direct to permanent residency, will no longer be able to be lodged, and this will be a disappointment for many people. We expect that the announcement of these changes may lead to a number of people rushing to try get a business visa lodged. We hope that everyone stays safe in these difficult times, and thank you for watching our Australian immigration news updates. If you found it useful, please hit subscribe.